Hey there, it's Brittany and I'm back with Jessie James Beads. Today we're going to be using their Purple Cosmos line to make a pair of earrings and a bracelet. And I'm going to use this, I think it's called Haley's Comet Mix, super pretty. A couple of these really nice focal beads, like look how gorgeous those are. This awesome chain, I don't know the name of the chain, but I will be linking everything in the description of this video. So this beautiful chain and a clasp. So I think for my stash, I'm just gonna use an ear wire, a couple jump rings, and some wire. I think that's all, and some head pins today. But let's get started with the bracelet. The bracelet's obviously got to use one of these because it's so pretty. And it's, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's like a smoky blue. It's so pretty. And I have two. I'm gonna save one for some other project. But love, you know I love this color combo. It's got purples and greens and blues in it. These beads are super sparkly and just really love the vibe they were giving. So I'm going to put a couple of those on one side, or a few of those on one side, I should say. And I really like these lampwork glass beads that were in there. So I'm going to space those bigger chunky beads with those. And then use a couple of these tiny spacers in between. And then on the other side, I'm going to use stars. So this is an asymmetrical bracelet. I'm going to use stars. They have two different sizes in this mix. So I'm going to use some on the earrings and some on the bracelet. The bracelet's going to use the larger ones. And I'll put a star there, star here, star here. These are also going to be spaced with these smaller spacers. And then I'm going to put these little bit larger spacers around the boho bead. And then I'm going to use these little rondelles between the stars. And put one on each end. If that's too long, I'll shorten it a little bit. I'm just going to use some 19 strand bead-along bead stringing wire and silver. And I'm just going to start stringing. Okay, it's looking great. I just need it to be a little bit longer. So I think I'm going to add in a couple beads after my crystals at the end, either these black beads or these teal beads. I think I'm going to go with the black. And then I ended up putting a couple of these teal beads at the end. Super pretty. Look how sparkly this bracelet is. Oh, I couldn't love it more. I'm going to take two jump rings and my clasp and then a couple of crimp beads. And I'll put my clasp on my jump rings. And then we'll come through a crimp tube. And then through one of my jump rings. And then back down through that crimp. And take your crimping pliers. And move that down. And squish. And turn. Squish again. Squish one more time. Then you move that down through a couple of those beads and trim off the tail. And then we'll move everything down toward that end and do the exact same thing on the other side. That will give me some leverage. I'm going to hold that tail, hold my clasp and pull. You can pull this pretty tight as long as this is bent, so it's not going to be in a straight line. Next, we'll come in here and squish, turn, and squish, and one more time. And then we'll trim off our excess wire. And there we have a a really fun celestial purple cosmos bracelet. I love it. I'll wear that while I'm making my pair of earrings. I'm going to take my chain and make sure that the edges are even. So I'm going to cut off one little loop on this side. I'm going to take two of my littler stars, my smaller stars, and two head pins. I'm using ball head pins, and make a wire wrap loop. Bend backwards over my pliers, reposition, bend forward, reposition, pull back, and then I'm going to, before I wrap that, push that through my chain. Come through there. And lock that in place. And then we will wire wrap. So I'm going to hold that with my pliers. I'm going to make that loop just a tiny bit smaller. All right, I'll hold that loop with my pliers, and then I'm going to grab my other set of pliers and wrap that wire around itself. And snip. And then we will do the exact same thing with the second star. And we have two dangles hanging from our chain. Then I'm going to count up 4 diamonds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to cut right above those diamonds. Right there. Okay. Now I need 2 smaller jump rings. I think these are the same size I used on the bracelet I used. And I'm going to hook those right onto those 2 top links. And then I'm going to take some 22 gauge wire. I'm using 22 gauge artistic wire today, but you can use German style. And I'm going to do a wire wrap loop. But before I close it up, I'm going to hook on both of those little jump ring. 1 and 2, and move those down to the loop. And then we'll close that loop up. Just like that. And we'll snip. I'm going to take this beautiful lampwork glass bead, slide that on crystal rondelle spacer, and then one of these little glitter balls. Then I'm going to do a wire wrap loop at the top. And there you have it. Now we just need to put on an ear wire. Now we have a stellar celestial pair of earrings. and a bracelet. And of course, I'll include photos at the end. And I'll include affiliate links to all of these items in the description of this video. Check out Jessie James Beads. Let me know what you think. Thanks to Jessie James Beads for having me back. And stay tuned for Goldie. She's super cute. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Look at this cutie. Hi, cutie. Hey. You sleeping?